Understanding infidelity has been our topic over a period of time now, and then today we really want to explore what can we do to reduce the possibility of infidelity in our marriage relationships. There are certain things that when we do them in our marriages, it will reduce, if not eliminate, the possibility of infidelity in our marriages. The first thing we should do as couple in a marriage is that we should please make choices in the interest of our relationship, in the interest of our marriage. So, peradventure you are caught up in between 2 or 3 options, please make that choice that will be in the best interest of your relationship. Do things just to save your relationship. All of your decisions should be in the interest of your relationship. There is no room for selfishness, remember. It has to be selflessness. Let's say that you find yourself in a questionable situation, circumstances that are questionable. The decision you will have to make will have to be the one that will be in the best interest of your relationship. So no matter your interest, the interest of your relationship, the interest of the two of you becoming one, we have to supersede every other decision. So it doesn't have to be you, it has to be us, it has to be we today. The second thing we should consider is to please keep the lines of communication open. Let there be no secrecy. Let there be no secret. Don't have secret agenda. Don't have secret plans. Don't have secret mission. Please let the communication lines be wide open, and then communicate openly, communicate clearly, so that everybody will be on the same page. There will be no room for suspicion. There will be no room for suspect. There will be no room for diversity even in the relationship. And please communicate your interest. Communicate your desires, communicate your opinions, your options, all of it. Bring everything to the table so that all of you, both of you in that relationship will always be on the same page, so that we give no room for the devil to operate. The third thing is that please spend quality time together. Everybody wants to be loved, to be appreciated, to be desired, to be deserved. Everybody wants to be validated. So please spend quality time with yourselves. Don't allow your wife to feel neglected, abandoned, unwanted. Don't allow your husband to ever feel rejected, neglected, abandoned. Please spend quality time together. Remember that when 2 people come together in agreement, they are always stronger. So please spend quality time together. Don't you ever give room for the devil to operate independently. The fourth thing I want us to please consider, so as to reduce the possibility of infidelity and cheating in our marriage, is that please don't you deliberately keep touching the person of the opposite sex. We might be thinking it's harmless, but over time it could accumulate to become a very harmful and dangerous thing. You might be thinking, oh, is it not just a touch? There are so many things that happen when you keep on touching somebody, especially somebody you are attracted to. Please, don't you dare. Madam, don't touch that man that is not your husband. When you touch him, you are communicating something to him. Sir, please don't touch that lady. No, you are communicating something wrongly. As time goes on, the body might begin to respond to all of those touches, and then before you know it, it will aggravate and then become something else. That is the way it begins. It always begins as something as harmless, and then later, if you feed it with the right thing, like touches and all of that, then it becomes so harmful. So please, don't you dare. Don't touch the opposite sex. No, it is not necessary. Okay, it is not necessary. If you need a touch, please go to your spouse. The number 5 thing I really want us to consider is that please, we should avoid comparison. No, don't compare your husband with another man. Don't compare your wife to another man. There is one thing I always believe, that all of us, we are peculiar in our own way. We are just special in our own way. There is nobody who can be you. You can't be me, and I really don't want to be you. So please don't compare your wife, don't compare your husband to another person. Just accept them the way they were, the way uniquely made, just in God's image. So please don't compare. By the time you begin to compare your spouse to another person, it shows that you are not satisfied with your husband or with your wife. It shows that you are actually communicating something different to yourself. Before you know it, you begin to desire the person you wanted your spouse to be like. No, please run away from that. The 6th thing I want us to please consider is that please, couple, please maintain active sexual life. Please, I would repeat, please maintain active sexual life. Don't say that sex is nothing in marriage. Sex is nothing. It is nothing. It is something. Please keep your sexual life active no matter what happens. I want to read this expressly to us. It said that if a spouse feels neglected, unwanted, or just tolerated, those feelings of being undesired could generate a big push towards someone else's bed. Don't think that you can allow your sex life to deteriorate without any consequences. So when the sexual life in your marriage deteriorates, there would always be consequences. Madam, when you starve your husband sexually, when it gets to a certain level, you are gradually pushing him towards another person's bed. Anything can happen. There is consequences. To every action, there is always an opposite reaction. So you are breeding something, Don't just make it active alone. Make it interesting, like make it meaningful. Make it like something that he would always want to come back to, that she would always desire. There is no room for selfishness when it comes to sexual life in marriage. Satisfy your husband, it is your responsibility. Satisfy your wife, it is your responsibility. So by the time we see our spouses as our responsibility, I think that it will be better. Sexually, our marriage will be brighter and then better. Please keep that in mind, that when you starve your spouse sexually for a very long time, it will always have consequences. Seventh thing is that please stay romantic in that relationship. You don't need to make your marriage so boring. You don't need to make it look so boring, like just on the straight line. There is nothing different. But when you were courting, there were a lot of varieties. But after you got married, everything was just like that, so plain. Yeah, just there. Nothing is interesting. Please keep the sparks up in your marriage. The mind is formed in a kind of way that it's always look for new things, new happenings, new vibes like that. So please keep romance active and then alive in your marriage. Those are the kind of little things that push people towards infidelity. You can guide against it. Please keep romance alive in your relationship. Madam, please dress good, appear well. Looking good is actually a very good business, Don't look so tattered. Don't look abandoned. Don't look like an abandoned project. Don't look like God-forsaken human being, sir. Too short too. Clean up your beards. Look good. Don't smell bad. Don't appear shattered, tattered. Don't appear like you are God-forsaken. It is part of it. The eye feeds the heart, The eye feels the mind too. So please stop appearing to your spouse as God-forsaken human being. Look good. It's not harmful, okay? It can only add up to things that will spice up your marriage relationship. The number 9, the last but not the least, is this: that peradventure you just find yourself fantasizing about somebody else. It's a possibility, okay? It can happen. So please, there is no harm if you have friends or probably a mentor or somebody that you can be accountable to. And please don't hesitate to speak to such people when you begin to notice some unusual things about yourself, about your feelings, before those feelings grow up into something that could damage or lead into infidelity in your relationship. Please speak to somebody you trust. Speak to somebody you can be accountable to. It will help you. It will go a long way. And then I want to say this, that prevention is actually better than cure. So it is better we work on our marriage relationship. It is better we make our home, our heaven, a place of rest, a place of enjoyment, a place of bliss and happiness, rather than to just leave it in neglect, to run on autopiloting. Anything goes, anything comes, everything just like that. No. Your marriage relationship needs your effort. So you have to be deliberate about it. You have to be intentional about it. So please don't kill that marriage. It is God's giving, and then you will be accountable someday. So please work on your marriage. You can transform it into whatever you like. Enjoy yourself. Create a place, a space for God Himself to stay. So please work on your marriage relationship to prevent infidelity.